Thank you. Thank you for joining us for this closing ceremony of the Ripple Revolution Summit. It's been an incredible journey. There has been tears, most of them by me, laughter, fun, but most importantly, there has been reconnection. We started the event on the 7th of November with the energy of 7-11, meaning it is time to let go of the past so that you can move on from self-blame and poise yourself for a bright future. It's time to make some changes in your life and embark on a new journey. And today, we draw to a close. We close today on the 11th of November with the energy of 11-11, with a message from your angels, God, the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, that you are on the right path. It's a sign to keep going and trust the direction you're moving in, as everything is falling into place. If you're going through a rough patch, seeing 11-11 is sort of an embrace from the universe, essentially telling you things are going to get better. So over the last 5 days, you have had the opportunity to learn from truly, truly incredible speakers who have all faced adversity, overcome challenges in their lives, and are now using their gifts to shine a light for you as you step into your power by reconnecting to yourself and reigniting your life. They have generously given their time, shared their wisdom, and gifted you with incredible tools and resources so that you have the courage to shed what no longer serves you, the inspiration to embody your true self, the tools required to unleash your true potential as you create your life on your terms. My request to you, my invitation, is to commit to something. Stop ignoring the voice inside of you and embody the real you unapologetically. The world needs what you have to share. All we have is this moment, and I invite you to take imperfect action right now. My wife and I believe so strongly in the power of ripples of impact and how they can change the world. Thus, we chose to donate half of the proceeds from the Lifetime Access sales to the charities of two incredibly inspiring speakers. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Getrude Matshe, the founder of Her Story, and Sir Darren Jacklin, the co-founder of Link Foundation. Getrude, would you share just a few minutes of what the projects you're supporting and how these funds are going to make an impact?
Thank you so much, Pete. It's an honor to have been a part of this amazing experience. You know, the ripple effect will go with each and every one of us doing a little something to change the world or be the change we want to see in the world. The Her Story Circle is a social impact movement created to uplift, inspire, energize people through the sharing of our stories. I believe we can change the world one person at a time, one story at a time. And we have several projects throughout the African continent, here in Southeast Asia, where I've been living for the last 20 years, Cambodia, Vietnam, Indonesia, and in the Caribbean. We help create women's cooperatives and help women in marginalized communities get out of poverty with very small amounts of money. For example, the contribution that is coming from this conference is going to help us create an amazing project to help little girls in Zimbabwe stay in school if they have a period. This might not be something you know, but for most young African girls, if you have a period, you don't go to school. Menstrual products are very expensive in Zimbabwe. Women are using bark, they use newspapers, and if you're a little girl trying to go to school, you have to stay home for 5 to 7 days. So we are creating a beautiful project where the mothers are going to be employed to make reusable sanitary pads to keep our girls in school. So Pete, I don't have the words to thank you for this contribution and what your community is doing to help us move the needle a little bit further, educate as many young girls as possible on the African continent with this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Gertrude. it's truly an honor for Letitia and I to be of service and to help to expand your ripple of impact. And it's just such a joy to be in collaboration with incredible people like you. And so from the sort of the entirety of my being, thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
And so the other charity that we are supporting through the Ripple Revolution Summit is Link Foundation, which was co-founded by Darren Jacklin. Darren, would you share a little bit about the foundation and the work that you're doing?
For sure. I'm very honored and very grateful to be here. And thank you, everyone, for being part of the Ripple Revolution. We created Link Foundation. I've had a chance to go to the African continent multiple times, East and West Africa over the last decade. And in 2018, I took my life partner, Tatiana Merciatis, who was a high school teacher here in Vancouver, Canada for 35 years. She has 3 academic degrees at top universities in Canada and taught education. And on that humanitarian trip, we were in Liberia, West Africa, one of the poorest countries on the planet. And we witnessed, during that 2 weeks we were there, human and child sex trafficking. We witnessed young little girls between the ages of 6 and 11 years of age being sold for $1 US. And you can do anything you want with this young little boy, little girl. And that really impacted us when we saw human life being sold for $1 US. And so we came back after that humanitarian trip. Tatiana retired from high school teaching, came to work with me within our group of companies. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. And she said, I don't want to be a local teacher anymore. I want to become a global teacher and create a ripple of impact. And in a real measurable, practical way, really make a difference in humanity. And she was frustrated with the school system for many years because it was very government, very union controlled, and a lot of talk, but not a lot of movement of the feet, and not a lot of consistent actions. And so we registered Link Foundation in Canada as a national charity. And by the end of this quarter, we'll be a registered charity in the United States of America as well. We've committed $100 million over the next 10 years through our family foundation towards global philanthropy. And so we built our first school called the Link Leadership Academy in Liberia, West Africa. We have over 300 children right now from preschool to grade 6 and that are attending school. And in 2023, we will, with some of the financial proceeds from this and other initiatives that we're doing, we'll finish off classrooms 7 through 12. So we'll have preschool to grade 12 of our first pilot school. Now, Link Foundation is LY2NK, which stands for Leaders Yielding to New Knowledge. We had a focus group came together in a mastermind, and we collaborated over a weekend to come up with a name that can really serve humanity and make a ripple of impact. And so we provide education through Link Foundation, Link Leadership Academy. We also are focused on decreasing human and child sex trafficking, also working with teenagers, with young little girls. We see little girls 11, 12, 13 years old that have already had their first or second child by the time they're a young girl or a teenager. And then also providing economic development and sustainability in regards to providing working opportunities around the village so that we can create sustainability. And so we're a very organized, well-run, high-performance team of people. And we have a very high-level strategic roadmap that we're executing on to build 100 schools across the African continent over the next decade here with a high-performance team of men and women from all walks of humanity. And so we're grateful to receive this and now multiply the giving. So everything that has been contributed to us through this this last few days, we're now going to multiply that giving. And because everyone's success is someone else's miracle. And the secret to living is giving. And so we're going to multiply that ripple of impact and make a difference. And we invite people to follow us on social media because we like to be accountable and responsible for our actions of what we do, because without integrity, nothing works. And so when people follow us on our social media channels, they can see everything unfolding, what we're doing, and to make a difference and to create that ripple of impact.
That's beautiful. Thank you too, Darren. I really, really appreciate the work you're doing and how you and Tatiana are just like really, really changing the way people see things, and you're inspired through an experience to take action and make meaningful change. So to both Gertrude and Darren, thank you. Thank you. I just want to take a moment here and just as a sort of short, friendly reminder that lifetime access to all of the recordings that you've listened to over the last week is still available for only $99. And that's till the end of today, when the price will go up. But I want you to know that 50% of all lifetime access proceeds is going to support these two incredible charities and the incredible work being done And it's the opportunities that these children get. There's so much in life where children in the underprivileged communities, underprivileged countries, they just don't have access to what we take for granted in the Western world. And I just, it boggles me to think is like how much wisdom, genius, and how much potential do we miss out on because they're stuck in survival mode. They don't ever move past that. And so I want to honor people who are doing the work that you're doing. I want to honor the people who are stepping up to make a difference, because that's where the ripple of impact will come, is through the individuals choosing to take action. And that's why, for me, I believe so strongly in imperfect action. Because if we wait to have all of our ducks lined up in a row, we do nothing. Because we run out of desire, something happens, we get derailed, it's costing too much, we overthink it, and it just leads to a huge waste of effort. So my urge to you, it's a strong invitation, is please, please, please do something. Take action on something that is meaningful to you for the betterment of the planet, for future generations. So as I'm just coming into a closing here, before I go there, I want to just say, for those people who would like to contribute past or over and above that just buying lifetime access, you can visit Getrude's speaker profile page and Darren's speaker profile page. There's links there to her story and to the Link Foundation. And you are welcome to sort of start a conversation and see how you can form collaborations together. I would love for more people to support these organizations and to find ways to do meaningful work in the world. So I just want to see if either Darren or Getrude would like to just share anything else before we just lead into a final closing.
I would love to say just one more thing, Pete. The philosophy that we operate under is the Ubuntu philosophy. Ubuntu means I am because you are. In Africa, we believe that there's no you, there's no me, there's only we. That humanity is one, we are an organism, and it's when we each do a little something, when we each see each other's humanity, that we can really make a difference. So it starts at home, in your home right now, with your husband, with your wife, with your partner, with your children. Are you really paying attention to their needs? When you say good morning, are you listening to the answer that's coming back? Then it extends to your community, your next door neighbor, people you bump into in a supermarket and you smile and say hello. And then if you have the bandwidth to do something somewhere else in the world, take action. And like you say, do it imperfectly. We are all perfectly imperfect. I love that, Pete. And it doesn't take much to change the world. It's small little actions that have that ripple effect. So I love what you're doing with this platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Getrude, and thank you for sharing that. That's if you haven't seen Getrude's interview and where she talks more about the Ubuntu philosophy, please check it out. And also, Getrude has this wonderful free gift where you can actually download a free copy of her book, Born Unto Africa, I think it is, the Ubuntu.
Born on the continent Ubuntu, yeah.
So please go and check that out. Darren, did you want to say anything just in closing?
Yeah, I just want to really acknowledge everyone for showing up. You know, I've learned from my mentors and teachers over the years that 80% of success is showing up and then doing the work and being consistent with your actions with that, and realizing that we create a ripple of impact. You know, never assume that you aren't being observed. People are always watching, observing your actions. And the key thing with what we're doing here is it's really a movement to really serve humanity and make a difference. People today are drowning in knowledge through the internet, but people are starving for wisdom. They want deep, inspiring, authentic, and vulnerable conversations. And we wear these social masks a lot of times to look good and not want to look bad. And that's one thing I like about going to the African continent and being in the villages with the people in the villages, is because, you know, number one, their feet never leave the earth. They're always grounded. You know, in the first world here in North America or internationally, people live in high rises and apartment buildings and office buildings where you're disconnected from Mother Earth. And I think it's important that there's a lot that we can take away from people. And so sometimes, you know, we judge people that, why do they live that way? Or are they happy? Are they being fulfilled? Is there joy? And we can learn a lot. And I always say to people, when you go on a humanitarian trip to Africa, the intention is that you're going to change their life. And we do. We create an impact and a measurable difference. But we end up being blessed by so many things that they teach us as well, because we're all in it together in this global village. And the secret to living is giving. And so through people's hard-earned work and effort and time and energy and money to make this happen, we create a ripple of impact that makes a difference, because the next generation of young men and women that are up and coming now, they're watching what we're doing. We're setting the stage right now, the global stage, to role model and mentor to them what it is. And we want to make sure that we take care of this planet and we leave it in good hands to the next generation to take on the legacy of the ripple of impact.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Darren. I echo that. I feel that the time is now to reconnect. We've come through an interesting couple of years, and who knows what's ahead of us. But what we have right now is the opportunity to connect to one another, the opportunity to connect to ourselves and connect to nature and recognize that we are all part of one. So that's what I kind of want to leave us here, because I'm just coming to a close with this. And so I just want to reiterate what the Ripple Revolution is. And at its core, it's a way of living where we are kind to ourselves, kind to those around us, and kind to the earth for the benefit of future generations. And so I want to there's a quote here, which I'm going to share with everybody. And this has been instrumental for me. This was something where I came across several years ago, and it really resonated, and I want to share it right now. Here is a quote by Mother Teresa. The ripple, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the water to create many ripples. And actually use this in the pitch deck, which I presented when Darren and I first met. So here I am, with the help of all of you, everyone who has watched, listened to the wisdom being shared generously by the speakers, to Alexi and Micah, who helped me behind the scenes, Jacklin, my mentor, but most importantly, my incredible wife, Letitia, and my 3 boys, Tito, Rio, and Kaleo, for their incredible support and encouragement. Today, as one, we cast the stone that is the Ripple Revolution, so that it can create many ripples for the benefit of future generations. So my last thing to say is thank you. Thank you for being a part of the Ripple Revolution. I look forward to our paths crossing in the future, and how I can support and guide you on that journey, how we can support and encourage each other, and how we can do it in a way where we realize and acknowledge that we are all one. And we're doing it for the future generations and for the health of Mother Earth. Thank you.